Good morning. Last night I was getting off the bus. Getting off the train, going to the bus, and I saw like a police helicopter, squad cars. There was kind of some chase or something going on. They were on some kind of manhunt. I don't know who they were looking for, but I know there was spotlights and helicopters in the middle of the street. And I was like, it's a crazy world we live in. But I chumped it off, went home, found out a couple of things. I said, you know what? People do what they do. So then basically I'm sleeping and I wake up, get a text message, and then I'm finding out that it was a shooting at Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas. Thoughts and prayers to those that are affected. Yeah, God bless. So I'm reminded that, even though I don't know the details and all that happened, we live in a dangerous world, you know, which you don't need me to tell you. You don't need me to tell you we live in a dangerous world with crazy things happening, people being killed every day, mass shootings, bombings, all kind of terrorist attacks, maybe chemical, biological stuff going on, all different types of stuff, internet hackers and, frauds, all kind of crazy stuff going down. And I think I forgot to say, or maybe I neglected to say to folks, be safe out there, man. We live in a dangerous world. We live in dangerous times. Hey, what's up, Deep? What's up, Krim? What's going on? Um, Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for everybody in the chat for stopping by. But this is just to say we live in a dangerous time. We live in a dangerous world. We live in a crazy society, man. Where, people could, I guess, just shoot each other up and kill each other. And, it's like people don't value human life. I don't have to like you. I don't have to care about you to value your life. Squad, I see you. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, Krim is like it's every man for himself, or man or woman, And I just tell folks out there just to be aware, be aware of your surroundings, be aware of where you are, be aware of what's going on around you and whatnot. You know, yeah, don't sleepwalk. If you see something, it's like they say, I guess say something. Don't try to be the hero in any particular situation. Unless you have a, particular set of skills that's going to get you through a situation. But, all jokes aside, like I said, be safe out there, folks. Because we're living in a time where people, value life even less, you know. And like I said, you don't have to stay on here long or whatnot. I don't have to stay on here long. But I just say this to folks out there. This is what I'm saying to you. Keep your family safe. You know, be cognizant of the environment that you're in. If you see something that looks a little off, if you see a stranger, somebody you don't know in your area, pay attention to what's going on. If you see some odd or weird behavior, and you have to notify the authorities, then that's what you do, because we live in a society where there's so much going on, man. Life is so devalued in these days and times, that it's scary. You know, I mean, if you just look at the mass shootings, school shootings, hotel shootings, and stuff like that in the last couple of years, you'll see. Yeah, definitely, Krim, definitely. Yeah, it is Harry. It is some news, to learn about that kind of stuff. And the sad part about it, to tell you the truth, is that this is not going to be the last time that something like this happens. It will happen again. It'll just be a different face, maybe a different state, maybe a different country, different location, whatever the case may be, different time zone, whatever. But I tell folks out there, like I said, just be aware of your surroundings, be aware of what's going on around you. Don't take things for granted, don't take your safety for granted when you're in a safe situation, even though sometimes you got to go through crazy security checks and you got to be inconvenienced. Me personally, I'd rather go through the security checks and be inconvenienced than to be in a dangerous situation. yeah, you know, yeah, you could just somebody could just be one step ahead of you, and you never know. You get to drop on you. Yeah, it's like a sporting event or something could be like could be shot up or something like that. I tell anybody out there, man, like I said, I don't care where you are, I don't care what you do. I'm not saying be in fear. I'm not telling people to go out there and start being afraid anytime you see a shadowy figure in the corner or you see somebody you don't know, and then all of a sudden now it becomes a point of contention. No, just be mindful of your surroundings. I don't know if anybody's seen the commercial, McGruff the Crime Dog. Yeah, Trump is on. Oh man, I'm not watching Trump. Hey, what's going on, Random Life? But like I was saying, McGruff the Crime Dog, how he's saying, get to know your neighbors, get to speak to your people. If you see somebody out of the whack, out of the ordinary, say hello, find out who they are. If you see somebody about to do something strange, ask them what's up, how they doing. If they can't speak to you, who knows? Maybe you need to notify the local authorities or somebody that can help you. Good morning, Chinaberry. But like I said, this is basically me saying to you folks out there, each and every one of you, no matter who you are, race, creed, color, sexual orientation, background. Just be aware of your surroundings, be aware of your background, be aware of what's going on, be aware that, people have nefarious motives. You know, not everybody cares about human life. There's a lot of people out there that have a disregard for human life. And I'm not going to say everybody, but there are quite a few. And, you just be aware of the behaviors and stuff like that. You be aware of how people move around you. You know, like I said, I don't know. You probably had the lone wolves out there and stuff like that, and people, who, hey, what's up, Llama Monster? Yeah, it is awful. It is awful. I mean, especially thoughts and prayers out to, all those affected by the Mandalay Bay shooting. I've been to Mandalay Bay. I've been by there in 2004. That's the last time I was out there. But like I said, people don't deserve stuff like that. They don't really deserve to, be out having fun and then all of a sudden, you're in the crossfires of somebody, with a, mass shooting. What you saying, Harry? Let me see, let me get back to your comment. Um, I'm hating that I look around in defense, but you have to. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Nah, Harry, you have to. I mean, you don't want to look around. You don't want to be in a situation where you constantly have to be on the lookout for your surroundings and whatnot. But it happens. It happens where you have to, be cognizant of what's going on. You have to say, okay, look, I got to think about the safety of myself, my family, be it if I'm on a train, I'm on a bus, I'm walking to the store. You have to be aware that it's a dangerous world out there. Sometimes people could be killed just going to the store because, hey, what's going on, Christine? I think being aware of your surroundings and looking for escape routes is important. I'm always doing that. Yeah, yeah, random. I mean, you don't want to live in that world, but the reality is we live in the world that we live in. You know, I will be a fool to sit here and tell you that, everything is all sunshine and rainbows, everything is sweet and perfect and nothing's gonna happen. And then you look on the news and you see something with mass shootings and somebody stabbings in schools. Like this, just this last week alone is insane. You've had kids dying in schools. You've had people dying of injections and people in freezers and folks getting shot and like Las Vegas and whatnot. Like I said, it's kind of crazy, you know and it goes to show with our society. I mean, maybe there's a desensitizing or demoralizing of the society to where human life just doesn't mean what it used to. You know, I mean, people out there killing like it's for free. You know, even with all the cops and the cameras and security checks, there's people out there still, willing to take that risk, willing to go that extra step. You know, and then there's people who probably have deep psychological issues that are going on with them. you know that's a whole other conversation right there. you know it just really goes to the point where, like I said, I can't reiterate this enough. Be aware of your surroundings, pay attention, stay woke, don't go to sleep. And what I mean by that, stay woke, is stay aware, stay alert. you know just be cognizant of the fact that we live in a world of opposites. We live in a world where people don't value life. You know, there's people that do value life. There's people that are upstanding. There's people that do care about the well-being of me and you. But then there are people who don't. You know, 420 is like they're right to take a possession. Yeah, no, I mean, and I think none of us on this planet have the right to take life and just be judge, jury, and executioner. I mean, we have a legal system where they decide things like that, but you know, that's still, you know, sketchy too. But at the end of the day, you know, no one has the right to take anybody's life just to put things into their own hands just because, you know, they're mad at the world or something like that. Yeah, I mean, it's still going, spread love. Yeah, nah, Harry, you do need to spread love. I think the reason there's a lot of killing, there's a lot of hurt, there's a lot of pain in this world is because there's a lack of love. There's a lack of understanding towards each other and whatnot, you know, to where when we live in a world filled with hate, it makes it easy to kill. It makes it easy to be destructive. It makes it easy to destroy society, you know, and I think it is a situation where, you know, like the old song said, what the world needs now is a little bit of love. Random says the scary thing is the dude in Vegas has 10 guns. Wow, he had 10 guns? See, I didn't even know all that. I'm just literally just waking up. But it's sad because it's like when you turn on the TV or the internet or, you know, your smartphone, whatever the case it is, it's like no matter what the story is, sometimes you could just take that person, remove them, input anybody else, or just put it in a different country because it's like things that went on in London. And there's things that went on in France. There's things that went on in Spain. At one point, stuff was going on in India, things in America. I mean, pick a country, you know what I'm saying? And just switch a couple of the details, and it's like you can see almost the same identical situation. Lama Masa says, I think rampant narcissism is one of the underlying problems that the selfie culture of screw everyone else. Well, it is a selfie culture, but for those that are old or that are old enough, if you remember the Reagan, you know, the Reagan era, you know, we got into the now generation and, you know, me first and whatnot. So this didn't start now. You know, you could go back to the early 80s and whatnot, you know, with the now culture, with the Reaganomics, with the era of people with overindulgence. So this has been going on for quite a while. It's just is a little different because of the technology and the selfie culture and stuff like that. You know, but definitely, I definitely agree with you, Lava Monster. It is a cultural thing to where people feel, you know, a certain type of way about, you know, screw everyone else and whatnot. But I think it's even deeper though, because I mean, we glorify violence in the society. I don't care what country you're from. I don't care what society you live in. You know, violence is over glorified. Don't get me wrong. You know, it's nice to be entertained and whatnot, but you know, we have sex, we have violence up here at the top. It's just like this, even this live stream. If I wanted to get somebody's attention on a live stream, all I have to do is present you with sex and violence in a way that, you know, won't get me shut down. And guess what? The numbers will go up. The comments will be aplenty. The people will be talking, you know, oh, he was sexy. Oh, he was violent. He's so dangerous. Look at him. Oh, he's so a thug. And it comes to a point as a society, you know, what do we want to do? I mean, what do we value the most? I mean, what do we want to project? What do we want our children to see? What do we want to really, you know, give back and forth to each other? And, you know, you see it. You know, you see situations where, like, you know, people feel like in the society that we live in today, that it's easy to take somebody's life like it's nothing. Like I had a situation, it was a domestic violence situation, you know, that I had basically broke up, you know, where it was a lady, young lady and a young man. They were going at it, and I, you know, got them apart or whatever the case. Two strangers, people I didn't know. And after I get the two people apart, hey, what's going on, Miranda? Thanks for stopping by. After I get the two people apart, the young man goes his way, and the lady is like, oh yeah, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna call the cops. I'm gonna get him shot. And I'm thinking to myself, hold up. You're just gonna get somebody shot because you got emotional and you had a situation, instead of actually trying to work it out, and you think it's just that easy and it's for free and whatnot. Some people are quick to just go to violence because of their emotions, and we live in that type of society. Harry says a six shooter is enough to protect and get the bad guy. Well, an assault rifle really doesn't belong in the picture. True, but at the same time, why do we need six shooters at all? Gail, there's so many young people being South Florida, beefing on YouTube. I mean, as far as YouTube beef goes, it's like, I mean, back in the days, I mean, if we were going to have a beef about something, it's like we saw each other in the street and, whatever happened there. I mean, I think it's kind of insane that people were beefing with each other and killing each other about what somebody said on the internet. I don't know you like that. You don't know me like that. I ain't got time to be, I'm going to get myself together and I'm going to come find you because you said something crazy about me on the internet. Yeah, Miranda says people now live in violence in our government. Oh, Miranda, I mean, different people do stir up different things, I mean, unfortunately. And yes, Christine, it is very sad that the world is turning into scam with loopholes everywhere. It is sad. Um, like I said, it's crazy the society we live in. It's crazy how people respond to things, and emotionally people get, just untethered, untoward, and then they want to go do things and whatnot. The world does lack compassion. I agree, Miranda. The world lacks compassion. It lacks love, understanding, peace. I mean, and the funny thing is, there's all these talking points. You listen to the politicians. I swear to you, and I hate to swear, that if you turn on the TV right now, or you turn on the internet, or you turn on the news, everybody is saying the right thing. Everybody, from the president on down, everybody's, oh, well, we're going to get this guy, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do that, and blah, blah, blah. And it keeps happening. You know what I'm saying? The shootings, the killings, the things, they keep going on. So it's like, what's the point? What's the point? What's the point of going on television? What's the point of going online? What's the point? I mean, it's just to show face. Yeah, unfortunately, he is our president, though. He is our president, Um, you know, he has many names. Agent Orange, Agent Orange, Rooster in Chief, the Apprentice, however you want to put it. But Mr. Trump is our president. I still respect the office of the presidency, but it is too much hate out there. It's too much negativity out there. I mean, we have to find ways to combat it. We have to find ways to let people know that life matters. Life matters itself. I mean, life itself is important. Life itself is worth living. Life itself is the utmost. I mean, we could talk about which lives matter, but the reality is that life matters itself. Without life, you can't talk about which life matters. And when you take life away, you find yourself not being able to teach people, not being able to love. Yeah, blue, purple, orange, straight, gay, etc. Yeah, life matters. Now, a lot of people may not like to hear that. They may say, "Oh, this life or that life matters," which it does. We know Black Lives Matter. We know gay lives, straight lives, purple, blue, red, whatever. It matters. But the reality is, I think we need to focus more on, why folks think it's okay to just take life for free. I mean, it's not up to me or you to decide who lives or dies in this world. It's not. I mean, I shouldn't be out there deciding, what, I'm mad, I'm angry, and I want to take somebody's life. Now, if you're defending yourself and you're doing what you have to do, I understand, but that's still the rough situation to have to deal with. I mean, it's sad. It's sad. It's really sad. I mean, that's why I'd say to folks, just be safe out there, man. We live in a dangerous world. Thank you, Miranda. Thank you. I appreciate that. I mean, and that's really all this is about. This is all this is about is me telling you folks, man, just be aware. Pay attention to these things when they happen. Don't just pass it by because, it's the news and whatnot. I know there's a lot of people out there that's not into politics and stuff like that. But when you hear about people getting shot and killed and things going on, pay attention. Because just because these things may happen in another place, like distant from you, or in another time zone in another country, doesn't mean it won't come to your doorstep. And I know that personally from just different things that I've experienced. Yeah, yeah. All the lives matter. They do. Life itself matters. Like I said, all I can tell folks right now is just to be aware, pay attention, stay woke, don't sleepwalk through life. Like I said, I'm just basically reiterating what I've said, because we do live in a world where there's a lack of love, there's a lack of compassion, there's a lack of human decency, where people think it's okay to just, be hateful and vengeful and whatnot. And it's not okay. It's not okay for me, you, or anybody else to be hateful and vengeful and harmful towards each other, because it's like my mother told me, the same thing that a person can do to you, you can do to them, you know. And we live in a situation, a world where, like I said, I do believe in karma. I do believe things come around to you. Harry says, if a person comes into my house with a gun, that's what I'm talking about. Now I can still carry. Well, somebody comes into your house with a gun, you have the right to defend yourself. I'm not gonna sit here and say somebody comes into your house with a gun, don't do what you have to do. But at the same time, you don't use deadly physical force on somebody you got the drop on. If you got the drop on them, you don't say, all right, come on now, let's get the butcher knife out and make an example of this person. Nah, you do what you got to do. I mean, and if it leads to that situation, that's still a heavy thing to deal with, taking of a human life. Taking a human life is not something you take lightly, and when you do take it lightly, you can lose all humanity. I have a baby and a knife and yeah. Well, all I'm going to say is this. Be aware that the taking of human life, regardless of what side you're on, is not a light thing. You know what I'm saying? It's not an easy thing to just digest, especially if you're like a good, moral, upstanding person, or you have values or have morals, especially if you have kids. I'm not saying I don't have kids, but, like I said, just for those that have children and people that they care about, it's not something you take lightly. Because here's the thing, the reality is when you take a life, regardless of what side of it you're on, you can't give it back. I mean, there's few things in this world that we really can't get back. That's time, that's life, probably a couple other things that I can't think about. But you can't replace life. You can't replace time. You can't take those moments back once they're gone. Yeah, it's night, but it comes with taking my care of, man. So, yeah, I mean, you do what you have to do, Miranda. I'm not telling people out there, just lay down and take it. I'm not telling you, let somebody get the drop on you and just, eliminate you off the map. You do what you have to do, but at the same time, don't take it lightly. Remember that it's still a life. Every life matters, even if they don't believe that they matter to themselves. And on that note, like I said, I'm going to tell folks, I got to go. Be safe out there. Be aware. Be alert. Pay attention. Be mindful, of what's going on in this world, Thank you, Miranda. I appreciate it. And thank you for all the people that came through in the live stream. God bless you. Be safe out there. Be aware of what's happening. Yeah, until next time, Harry, later, Llama. Miranda, take care of everybody. Random, everybody, Evelyn, everybody. Be safe out there. Because we live in a dangerous world. We live in a dangerous time. That if you're not paying attention, you too can be in a bad situation, a deadly situation. Prayers to you and your families out there. Prayers to the people affected in Mandalay Bay that's shooting any atrocity that's going on right now. People with hurricanes in Puerto Rico, all that stuff. Mexico, Texas, Florida. Prayers to all you. We live in a dangerous world. Be safe out there. Take care, folks. Canada too. Wow. Mass stabbing in Canada last night too. Wow. Like I said, dangerous world, man. Be careful out there. Stay woke.